now.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. So you missed last 5 minutes. It's okay.
It didn't think I
Sorry, guys, I was on.
Now, I usually have a sticky note right here with a giant red circle on it to remind me to record, but it disappeared during a meetup.
Oh.
Someone took
We'll
it.
make you a new one.
We should find it.
Or make it new fast. Yes, Amanda?
Does this work?
Does this work?
Yeah, let's go see if it works.
Do we think it works? Who thinks it'll work? Thanks for the confidence. Who thinks it won't work?
I don't know if you set the props yet.
So why don't we think it'll work?
I don't think your movie ID matches on all your component pages.
So you think that there's some weird naming thing that I missed something somewhere?
I think.
Probably.
We tested it.
That's why I want to see the page and see if I'm right.
It was an array of 7.
Well, it didn't fail, so. But that doesn't mean it worked. No error message doesn't mean it worked. So if I click attack the A New Hope, ID 1, we go to ID 1. So let's actually get it to actually do something. Don't just display an empty div. This dot state dot movie dot title. It's not movies, is it? Ooh.
Classic.
The S is going to be my downfall. Just like it always is. Here we go. So I'll take 99% there. So let's walk through this to see where the naming is throwing off some people. So here on my movie list item page, I'm saying, hey, find me the movie ID, and we're going to call it movie ID.
Right.
This movie ID is a local variable just to this render function, and that's it. What it's producing is a link, which a link is just a string that has a number in it. So as soon as it gets to here, it's technically losing movie ID. The value is still there, but its name movie ID is gone. So it's going from movie ID to movie/5 or movie/3 or movie/whatever. At that point, our href is pointing to that URL, and over here in app.js, we're saying, oh, it's no longer movie ID, it's no longer just a string, it's actually an ID. Just a ID.
Where does it pull that ID from?
The URL. So when
So this is like retroactive or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like it's there, and then they go, oh, whatever's there.
Mhm.
Call it that.
Yeah. Yep.
So on the path, you're saying that the route exact path, we're going to actually get the ID,
Yep.
it's the last D. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, and then over in our component, our movie component.
Is this a one-way thing though? Like, or does it? It's only if we click, right? We can't just. We can't just type it in there and it works.
It should work. Which begs the question is, could I type in some garbage up here? And will this work?
it won't show anything.
Technically, it works.
Yeah.
We're getting
Find
a
out then.
404.
Showed Dumbo or something.
That's an Easter egg.
The greatest Easter egg of them all.
JSON Easter eggs.
I wish that was more of a thing now. Easter eggs aren't really a thing anymore. Like, I know.
I know.
Like, stuff like that. That'd be a totally valid thing, like back in the 90s. Not anymore. Makes me sad.
I had a thought about a capstone where you just make like a giant Easter egg and you live demo it. And pretend like it's like what?
That'd be nuts. there's a tangent on that later. But we could do like kind of like error checking here, right? Like, hey,
Error checking?
yeah. So like on our component dim mount, we can do like if let's see. So what would it be? Const movie ID equals this. Right, then we can go like, hey, if movie ID is an parse int movie ID, if it is a number,
It's not a number.
yeah, if it's not a number, whew, 2 knots do make a right here. If it's not a number,
Turn it into a number.
no, just
Go fetch
Go
demo for
fetch.
this API.
else.
Parsin is turning it into a number.
Yeah, this dot state dot message. Ooh, wow, oh wow, this dot set state. Message error message is that is not a movie number. Try again.
How do you make that print out?
Aha! How do we make this print out now?
This dot error message?
Let's see if this works first, and then we'll worry about that.
Document query text content equals.
Yeah, right. We're gonna go back to a week 2 technique and use our query select to do this. So that still works. It still works correctly. But if I go now to elephant, I should not get anything. The network request isn't made.
Cool.
And inside of my state, way down here, my error message is now a thing. Awesome. How do I display this?
Ooh.
This.
Down here, I can do. So we could do that, right? If this dot state dot error message, bless you, return, this dot state dot error message, right?
Yeah.
Else, do that. We could do that, right? That is option 1. Another option that we could do, and something that's a bit more common, is we can use a ternary here.
Can you, instead of getting rid of it entirely, can you comment it out and thank you.
So my ternary, my condition is this, right? And my values are these 2 tags. Well, those 2 tags can be abstracted into components.
We committed recently.
We have not, but we're not quite to a place to commit. So I'm going to create 2 new components. One is a error message component. That just displays this dot props dot message. And the other one would be a movie component. That we'll expand on this later. This dot props dot movie dot title. We'll expand on this later. But over here in my pages, I can actually do, hey, return. And then I can go, hey, check out this dot state dot error message. And if that's a thing, then return error message with the message being this dot state dot error message. Else, return movie.
You have 2 things, movie.
I do. this dot state dot movie. Let me fix up my movie. Oh, it's in a movie. It's in a movie.
Why?
Movie component. Running faster than the computer wants to work. It's had a hard week, and I understand. So now we can do something like this instead. Saying, hey, what's our condition? Oh, okay, this component or that component. Let's see if this works. You're just chugging along this morning, taking your time.
I was watching the interview with the hacker at one point, and he goes, I like to watch movies where there are hackers because I'm like constantly typing. And he goes, here's what I do. I read a script, I make a sandwich. I come back, it's still compiling, I make a sandwich. I do my dishes, I come back, it's done, and I can write another script.
Yeah, right. That's always like the compiling, building, kind of like waiting game. Like I'm hurrying up. I'm on the edge of my seat because
Time to
I'm
make a
waiting.
sandwich.
Someone's gonna like chill here for a little bit.
That'd be so funny if they did like an actual CSI episode with like real hacking, and it's just the hacker at the computer just like eating
My-
a sandwich.
Hacker downloading packages. And
Yeah, right. I think my favorite rendition. I think it was CIS. I think where they had like two people on the same keyboard typing. Like they're like, there's a hacker getting into our system. I need help here. And the one of them moves over to like one half of the keyboard, and the other person comes up and starts typing on the other half of the keyboard.
And
That's my leadership. Always looks to be crazy when I say adding other people isn't gonna make it any faster.
That's asynchronous. What
What
do
is
you
the
mean?
most ridiculous thing? Because that's
I'm not synced up.
Yeah.
Really well. That's your manager making reports of I just hired more people. It should be 5 people on one keyboard getting work done.
Isn't that what parent programming is? I swear.
It's like the original GitHub, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Committing in real time.
I don't know why this browser died. So I'm gonna go in and kill it.
And got into an infinite loop the other day, and I was like, what's that?
Oh snap!
An infinite loop is so much fun. Sort of.
Did you? Is that normal for it to say "oh snap" or is that just your browser that says that?
No, that's normal. That means that the page broke. You just probably haven't broken your page yet. Like hard broke. If I click here, that still works. But if I now go to elephant, I get my nice error message. Yeah, right?
So,
And of course, I can go in and style that up and be like, oh, why don't you try this movie or try that movie or something. We can go in and make
make the
this,
background red.
Yeah, like-
you got the class.
make this prettier. But JavaScript, not CSS. Okay.
Should we try to do something like that just to practice? I mean, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's really nothing too crazy. So let's style this up real fast. Inside of our error message, we'll give this a class name of error message. And inside of here, we'll make this a h1. And we'll give a polite suggestion, h3. Why don't you try best movie?
No, could you just return a 404 message?
we made a page.
But we made a page that works. The routing's not a 404, but the content's 404. Does that make sense? We still have a
Oh,
page.
yeah.
It brings you
at-
to the page.
Yeah, we still have a page that's at something like that. But it's like, oh, nope, sorry, that doesn't exist. The content doesn't exist. Link from React Router DOM. Try. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire.
And that's
Link to the
Empire.
past.
Empire. And Empire is /movie
two.
/2.
That's 4 side. Lots of
Is
error.
it- is it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's ID 2.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do that. Why don't I try the best movie? Oh, of course, because it's
Brocane.
going back to the same page, so I need to do some fancy mumbo jumbo there.
Oh yeah.
Is it a capital maybe?
wait, why did, I'm kind of confused why that didn't work.
Because we're still on the same page, just the props have changed. So we need to go in and tie into the lifecycle event that the props changed. Or
Meaning we have to set it in state, or?
we need to update the state of the parent whenever they click that link. /homepage. I'll get there eventually. And then to style it up a little bit real fast, head over to app CSS, index CSS, .error message, height of 100%, width of 100%.
Background color red.
Yep, display flex, we'll center everything, justify content center, align item center, background color. So I want to do a red, but I don't want to do a red.
How'd you know it was items not content?
What?
How'd you know it was line items and not line content?
Because align items is the property that I want. I don't want align content.
Oh, great explanation.
I mean, align content does something different. Just to show you align content. This is more similar to Flex on.
Cross access.
Yeah,
What? It's like the same thing.
it's super close, but
It's 90 degrees.
yeah,
Inside the container of the.
yeah. Within the Flex container, align content. I believe let's actually look this up.
The container in the Flex container. The content in the Flex container.
Because it is a good question. Like there is something called align content.
For me, it's just like trial and error, which one can make it work.
For science.
Yeah, for science.
When I think of content, though, I think of like something in a box or like a container. When I think of items,
Yeah.
I just think of like items that are just
Yeah.
in space in the Flex box.
So
I just think up or down a bunch of vectors.
Well, yeah, that's align is up and down. Just by content.
mhm.
For row.
Yeah, child.
Column and switches.
So these are the examples?
Yeah, so let's
I guess like the ice cream logo.
One of the items.
It's
It's not ice cream.
Ice cream. You eat that?
It's not ice cream you want to eat.
Yeah, that's not ice cream at all.
So one of the center line to the axis.
Yeah, one centers it to itself, one centers it to everything else. A very specific and slight difference. I would wager about 95% of the time it's align items. Like I've never actually used align content in the real world, so take that for what it's worth. Align item, background color. Come here. Go back to movie/elephant.
Ooh.
I need to flex direction row. And then on my HTML, my body, my root, make those all hide 100%. Column mark, column. There we go. Add some margin, some padding, 3 rems. And there we go. Ta-da. There's your image. So we go to look for a movie, come back here, check out these movies. This still works. It's nothing too crazy, it's a little bit of sprinkle some CSS on it, and bam, we get an entirely different look and feel.
That was awesome.
All right. Whew. CSS is pulling my hair. So it's 11. How we feeling?
Good.
Weekend project looking good? Looking better than it did 2 hours ago?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Cool. Do you have any questions about the weekend project?
The random.
The random?
Same thing.
So-
Random photo, right? Isn't that part of it?
Yeah, so it's of the now showing movies. Highlight a random movie that is now showing.
Oh, Jesus. Alright. I thought I just had to do so much.
Yeah, it's literally just whenever they load, do like a math.random on it
Okay.
and pick out one from the box. Yeah.
Okay. Just make it all harder.
It's not supposed to be that crazy hard. Phil.
If you wanted to style one string out of a return string in your API, would you have to put that in state as a complete string and then parse it out, or?
So let's do that real fast. So over here, for some reason, the client wants the first letter of each movie highlighted a different color.
Sounds like Code Wars.
It does. This is a very kind of Code Warsy kind of problem, but it's also not an unrealistic thing to happen.
Very cool. Right.
Because clients are weird. So how would we do this? Without thinking about React or the algorithm, how would we do this? Just with HTML and CSS.
Well, we just use split, right?
You just span.
We're gonna get to a split eventually, but a span, right? So we would wrap like A in a span. We'd wrap attack in a span. Then we give that span a class. Okay. So how do you know what the first word is?
We would do split,
Yeah, we split.
bracket 0.
Yep, just like we did the other one, right? We're gonna split it to get the first one. But unlike the other example, getting the movie ID, where we only wanted the last one, we still want everything. So now we're going to be mapping over that split array into a new array, into a new string, right? But this new thing is going to have a span inside of it. So, over here in a movie list item, I'm actually going to make this a component because this logic is going to get fun. It is already a component, but I'm going to make it another component. Highlighted movie title .jss. So why would I put it into another component? Any thoughts? Yep. Because it's no longer just a highlighted movie title. Because it's no longer now just displaying anything. I'm going to have some logic. I'm going to be doing a split, create, and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be doing stuff. And I want to make sure that I'm doing that stuff only in one place. So I'm going to take this, put that there, and then highlighted movie title, title equals this dot props dot movie dot title. And down here, title. So now I want to split this, right? And when I split it, I want to turn each item into a span or something with empty tags around it.
Are
So
you functioning inside of your render?
my functioning, yep, I'm going to be doing a little bit of logic inside of my render.
Okay.
So
That's why you wanted to make sure that you separated it, because that's
Mhm.
dangerous, right?
yeah, because like I would have to put this in one line, I'd have to put it someplace else, and it's not bad. It's almost a slippery slope argument, where it's like it's not bad now, but it could be bad later. So, and that's kind of a really delicate balance. So our output here is going to be this dot props dot title dot split on a space. We want to map over it, and for each word, if it's the first word, return it with a span, else return just the word. So how do we tell if it's the first word or not? Index, yeah, we can use the index. So if index equals 0, we want to return span class name equals first with the word inside of it. Else return just the word.
Get first style.
Yeah, then we'll make a first style. And then at the very end of this, we actually need to join it back together. Because right now, output is a array. And I don't want it to be an array. I want it to be an actual thing. But I'm not going to do that quite yet.
So you put brackets and then say something plus something.
Yep. And really, actually, since it's an array, what we can do, we can map over it, right? So output.map word, and we just want to return the word.
And that's a different word.
Yep. We'll call this element. And we'll call this elements. So let's check this out. And if I inspect this, my first word is now wrapped in a span with first, but they're smushed together, right? So let's add here space word.
Everybody.
Just add a space before it. So now over here, boop, spread out. Yeah,
Fancy.
right? And now let's add that CSS class.
Yeah.
This is what dot first.
Yeah.
We'll do color equals yellow. No, not yellow, because yellow is too harsh.
Oh.
Let's do
Dark khaki.
dark khaki.
Yeah.
Dark khaki. Yeah.
What color? Darthraki? Darthraki?
Yep. Best crossover ever. So yeah, there we can style the first one.
Oh, whoa, the attack is all gold. Oh,
Yeah.
so you grab the whole first word.
Yes.
We could do the whole title.
Mhm.
Title.
What? Make the whole title that color?
No, I think she wants to randomize it.
Oh, randomize each word, or
Oh, no, I just meant highlight the title.
oh.
Wouldn't that be background color?
So to highlight the title, where's my movie?
No, I mean instead of the first word.
Oh, instead of the first word.
Yeah, because we used zero.
Right. So instead of the first word, we throw it on here. Class name equals first.
Arcata has been
Um,
neutralized.
we could randomize it if we wanted to.
Cool.
It's 11:10. I don't want to do too much more.
What about having our fetch have an error catch?
Our fetch have an error catch,
Yeah.
so that would be wherever the fetch is.
We already have an error page, so we can
Yeah.
just reference that. Huh?
Yep. So like here, we can check if resp dot. I forget what resp is, because we can't just say, hey, can we have an error page? We have to see what is that error page that we actually care about. Like, what error are we checking for? So if I come here and check out my resp, it's pretty much, I want to check to make sure that the status is 200, right? So if resp.status equals 200, do this, else this.state.error message, guys down,
You need a rest dot status or state?
status.
And that can be a
Status.
ternary as well.
Could it be a ternary?
Oh, wait.
Joe, what do you think? What's
It's
the
a really
right?
ugly one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a yes or no.
Yeah.
There's a
You'd have to factor out the set states
But-
and stuff.
I'm not setting a value, I'm doing logic.
Mm,
Even though that logic is setting state, it's not getting a value back.
okay.
So could it be one? Technically, yes. Should it be one? Probably not.
Because you'd have to factor out all the set states into their own things. They would be.
Yeah, yeah.
It would look messy, but it wouldn't work.
It would work, it would just look messy.
Oh.
And as a senior developer, I'd go, yeah, you're doing logic here, don't do that.
We are setting state for error message, we didn't give it state at the top, and that worked.
Yes,
Why is that?
because our logic is just whether error message exists or not.
Because you already set state at the top when you
Yeah.
got the,
And so,
API.
So, to make this better, to make it a bit more explicit, I should have a key here, hey, error message, and give it some falsy value, like null or something like that. I should do this.
But it worked with that.
It worked without it because JavaScript's flexible, but I should do this because now whenever you come to this component, you can immediately look right here and go, oh, we have a movie and an error message. If this wasn't here, and you just saw a movie, you're like, oh, I only have a movie here. So this helps code readability and maintainability in an organization. Not technically required, just highly encouraged.
Thank you.
Bill?
So a lot of I'm seeing often is that like your Axios or fetch, the error is returned in your dot then.
Yes.
It accepts 2 arguments. Do these fetch tools have catching error things built in?
Yep.
They do.
Because they're promises, we could also do, where's the end of the then? We could do a dot catch here.
Okay.
This dot set state with error message error dot message. We could do something like this and say, you know what? If my promise fails, also catch the message. Also catch the error.
It's like a safety net. Oh, you need to commit now.
I do need a commit. And it's highlighting, and error messages, and error handling. Before we do that, I need to want to get rid of this. All right, how are we feeling? Feeling good for the homework? Good.
Are there some common practices moving forward for catching errors, like where to put them, like where are they most important?
So I am of the mindset, fail fast, fail often, and fail loudly. If my program's gonna crash, I wanna know it. I'm not gonna put error handling in until I know the error. So, yeah.
But sometimes you can't find that error unless you put error handlers in certain places, correct?
If that error will crop up, the very definition of error is that something went wrong. And what happens was that just like pre-abstraction, pre-refactoring, and stuff like pre-optimization, if we try to do error handling before we know the error, odds are we might swallow the actual error someplace else. And now we're swallowing and hiding the error over here, but actually it's failing over here.
Okay.
So we're looking over here, but really the problem's over here.
Okay.
So that's why I don't put in any error handling until I actually find the
Interesting.
error. So, yeah. Because like for the error, like if the API is down, like I trust that they're going to have 99% uptime because they're an external API. If I'm building the API, I need to have myself making 99.9% uptime. My error handling there may not be, an if statement saying it could be, let's make sure my API is resilient and has backups working. So that's never down. So yeah. Cool. 1 o'clock, 64 labs.